Greenville County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Okay, the thing is, a sitter was supposed to show up to be with my mom today, and she's in her 80s. Her name is Edna Suttles, and she didn't show up. This is not like her. She shows up like clockwork.
That was it. That single 911 call set off a chain of events that spiraled into a web of darkness where truth became as twisted as the lies. What started as a missing persons case soon unraveled a mystery, exposing secrets that no one, not even the killer, saw coming. It was a routine morning, at least it should have been. Edna Suttles, an 80-year-old woman, a single mother, had raised 3 kids in Travelers Rest, South Carolina, and never let age slow her down. By day, she worked as a home care assistant, always putting others first. But on August 28, 2021, Edna missed a scheduled appointment. That alone was cause for concern. A 911 call was placed, and just like that, Edna Suttles was declared missing. The officers arrived at her home, and at first everything seemed normal. Greg Walter, the lead investigator for the Greenville County Sheriff's Department, found that there were no signs of forced entry. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. No signs of struggle, no broken windows, no evidence of what had happened. Her son, Douglas Alexander, rushed to her home, and there, sitting quietly inside, was Edna's dog. Something about it felt wrong. The dog was supposed to be in Edna's care. If she was gone, she would have left instructions. She would have asked someone to look after it. Was it a simple car accident? Maybe she'd gotten lost. After all, she's an 80-year-old. The authorities quickly filed a missing persons report, sending out a bolo for her Jeep and issued a silver alert. But as detectives dug deeper, they uncovered something unexpected. Edna wasn't just a caregiver. She was South Carolina's first female bondsman. A trailblazer, yes, but also someone who spent years around dangerous men. Was that the key to her disappearance? The life of a bondsman is a hard one. Forensic expert Joseph Scott Morgan would later say, "You're not just posting bail, you're dealing with criminals, people on the edge." But was that enough to explain her sudden disappearance? Police weren't so sure. Investigators dug through every possible lead. When they turned to Edna Suttles' home phone records, they were hopeful. But the reports led nowhere. Just as the case seemed ready to stall, something unexpected changed everything. Then, on September 3rd, a breakthrough. Edna's Jeep was discovered, abandoned outside a Best Western hotel. About 11:30 at night, they came to get the keys, said Douglas. At that point, we knew it wasn't good. But who left the Jeep there? Had Edna met someone? Or had someone lured her there? Investigators pulled the hotel surveillance footage. They watched the Jeep pull in. They waited to see Edna step out, but she never did. Instead, a man exited the car. The man was wiping down the surfaces of the Jeep. Every investigator's instincts flared. Why would he do that unless he was trying to cover his tracks? Walter put it bluntly, the game has changed, and every second and every minute counts. They turned to another set of security cameras at a nearby shopping center, hoping to catch a better glimpse of the man. And they did. The cameras at a Food Line grocery store captured the man walking towards a silver sedan. The footage revealed that the man had arrived at 9:30 a.m. Then, shortly after, Edna's Jeep pulled into the lot. The two exchanged a wave. He got into the passenger side of the car, and together, they left. Now, investigators turned to Suttles' family. Did they recognize the man? They didn't. But they did know something else. Edna had been using online dating services. It was possible that she had met this man through one of those platforms. But the more they looked at the footage, the more troubling it became. It appeared that the man had physically moved Edna from her Jeep into his vehicle. "Looking at this, there's definitely something wrong," said Walter. "That led us to believe that she may be incapacitated. We were looking at a full-on kidnapping." Then, investigators made another startling discovery. Inside the Food Line footage, they saw the man buying yogurt and swiping a card. It was a small detail, but it turned out to be a massive breakthrough. The card gave them a name. His name was Daniel Printz, a man from North Carolina. The case had just escalated. Rutherford County sheriffs and even the FBI were on the scene. They tracked Printz down to his home in Bostic, North Carolina, where he was arrested. The man was cocky, playing with the investigators as if he were in control.
What'd you get locked up for? Because you said you got paroled.
I was locked up for a kidnapping charge.
Okay.
He claimed to be a handyman who did odd jobs for elderly women, but when he was asked about Edna's disappearance, his answers were vague at best.
And I did 13 and a half years for that.
Oh, wow.
I did 1.5 years for a false statement on a vehicle title. You know, when they're not sure if they're going to make something, they want something to hold you with. So the false statement, that's all that was. The kidnapping, I was doing some bad shit.
First, he said she was out to meet a private investigator. She was suspicious of him, so she had asked Printz to come with her.
Dan, stop playing games. You know what we're
When I
talking
got,
about.
okay, I can help you here.
Okay.
You gotta give me a second. You gotta let me answer the questions when they're asked. When I dropped her vehicle off looking for the guy, she said she wanted me to take her and drive around in my vehicle. So I left her vehicle. I went down to Food Lion and she was in my vehicle with me. And I dropped her off at home.
But then, Printz said Edna had been sick with a stomach bug and that he drove her car to the hotel, leaving it there. He had driven her home in his car, but none of that made sense.
I don't know where Edna is.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Dan.
Let's go back to why you wiped the car down. What you said you were worried about what?
The only thing I did was because I knew I'd been in and out of her car all the time with her. I'm like, there is no way in hell.
The investigators weren't buying it. They dug deeper into Printz's past and uncovered something horrifying. He had been convicted of kidnapping back in 1997 and had only been released from prison in 2010. But the biggest shock was still to come. When they searched his wallet, they stumbled upon a clue: credit cards and a debit card belonging to a woman named Nancy Rago. Printz claimed to have power of attorney over her, but there was a major problem. Nancy's family hadn't seen her in years. The search of Printz's home revealed more disturbing evidence. Among the items found was property belonging to another missing woman, 61-year-old Leigh Goodman. And at last, police recovered a gun that Suttles' family confirmed as hers. Investigators found more evidence pointing to a pattern. Printz had multiple profiles on internet dating sites where he appeared to target older women. Printz was a serial predator, but for now, there was still one problem. Investigators didn't have the evidence they needed to charge him. Then, in October, another bombshell dropped. Printz's wife decided to sell their home, and during the process, workers discovered a large box on the property where they found Edna's social security card and keys. But that was only the beginning. There was also a plastic bag and an empty yogurt cup. The bag and cup were sent to the crime lab and Suttles' DNA was found on the bag. Even more terrifying, traces of painkillers were found in the yogurt cup. It became clear what had happened. Printz used that yogurt to poison Edna. With this crucial evidence, authorities were finally able to charge Printz with Suttles' murder. Even as the charges mounted, they pressed Printz for answers. What had happened to Edna? Where were the other women? 9 months after Edna's disappearance, Printz finally broke his silence. He led investigators to a shallow grave in Rutherford County, where Suttles' body was found on May 16, 2022. The remains were buried under branches and pine straw, hidden away as if she had never mattered. Investigators pieced together the timeline. By late August 2021, Printz had established an online relationship with Edna. He went to Traveler's Rest, laced her yogurt with a lethal mix of painkillers, and suffocated her with a plastic bag. On June 22, 2022, Daniel Printz pleaded guilty to kidnapping and murdering Edna Suttles. He also confessed to killing Leigh Goodman, 61, Nancy Rago, 66, and her 88-year-old mother, Delores Sellers. Printz is now serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. But what do you think? Edna lived a life of strength and kindness, only to vanish at the hands of a monster. Do you believe there were more victims than we know?